Hello, in my continuing video. Today we're going to take a look at a very cool Pokemon for the Little Cup, or like the Element Cup here, which gonna be the Binacle. Binacle has access to Scratch, which is usually a horrible move. It's still a kind of horrible move, but it's still a fun move to use in the Element Cup. This move is a one-turn move that still does some nice, decent damage in general, which makes it pretty cool in this cup where most Pokemon don't really have a lot of HP. Like one-turn moves are always kind of nice there. And the Binacle gonna be able to basically hardwall something like the Ducklet, also hardwall every single fire type. And yeah, it started horrible for me actually playing this. Like, I don't know how it's gonna be like in the video because it's randomized as always, but yeah, okay, here's see the first hard counter there. But yeah, it started horrible for me. I think I went 0-4 in the beginning, and then I went on an 8-game win streak with this team, which was kind of funny because I was really like worrying that this team doesn't work, but I was just unlucky, I guess, in the beginning, or I just needed some time to adjust to it. But this team actually works with a very cool Pokemon there with Binacle. Binacle had some very nice moments later on as well, as you're gonna see. As my opponent goes into Slowpoke here again, fine for me, I can go ahead, go for one Seed Bomb, gonna get the shield from my opponent, and I can just go for another one. Nope, I can't. But I can farm down with the Chinchou, and farming down with the Chinchou and then having only one Pokemon left is always kind of tricky for the opponent, as we have, of course, access to the Bubble Beam. Problem here, though, they have, of course, a Grass type in the back, which means, yeah, our Pokemon, they are gonna just die to one move. Cannot scratch him down in time, cannot get to a cross jump in time. We're gonna lose this match here against this Cottony again. But yeah, again, like the beginning was pretty horrible with this team, and then I just went on a crazy win streak, as you're gonna see like later on. I'm gonna go ahead, try to go for one Bubble Beam here, but my opponent just decides to shield this and win this game. Very smart decision, I guess. But we're gonna see some very nice wins, most likely very soon here already. We see the Cottony in the lead, definitely something that you want to see in the lead here, because you don't want to see it in the back. And again, as said before, you're just gonna go straight for the Grass Knot, don't go for the Seed Bomb, and Grass Knot gonna be able to get the opponent either like a shield or win the lead matchup. We're gonna get the shield here. They can farm me down. Fine for me, I can farm down now with the Chinchou, and having basically the hardest Chinchou answer already out of the way now, going to be very nice, as they're gonna go into their own Chinchou, which is also very nice for me, as I can go ahead, go for the bait here. They might think it's already a Thunderbolt because I have like some energy advantage, and they think it is, as I can now go for a shield because I need to shield here kinda, and go ahead, go for one more Thunderbolt, KOing the opponent's Chinchou, and hopefully they have something in the back which I can deal with our little Binacle, as they have a Slowpoke. I don't even need the Binacle. I'm gonna get to the Thunderbolt before they can get to a Psyshock here. Pretty easy peasy, as we can KO this thing as well and just sweep all the way against the Cottony now with our Binacle. Binacle with the Scratch is really cool. We have the opponent here, Duck Eater. I don't really like this name though. Poor ducks, as we're gonna go ahead and farm this thing down. We see the duck on their side, even they are Duck Eater and they're having their own duck on their side. How could they? That's kind of cruel. I don't want to know what's gonna happen after this match against this Ducklet, as we're gonna be able to just go for one Bubble Beam, trying to debuff this thing, as now the Brave Bird doesn't do as much damage, and we can just farm this thing all the way down, which is very nice for us, as they're gonna go ahead and go into, we will see, into their Slowpoke again. And I was like, I think I can farm this thing down, and if I can farm this thing down, I'm gonna be able to go for some nice Bubble Beams against whatever comes in, and we are able to, and we see a Fire type with the Vulpix coming in, and thanks to this farm down, I can go ahead, go for 2 Bubble Beams and gonna put this thing low, and now you're gonna see the best matchup ever, Binacle against a Fire type. And as every Fire type in this meta has basically only access to normal type moves and Fire type moves double resisted, normal type moves are single resisted, you see how easy this matchup is. Even without the double debuff there, we would have been easily fine to win this game, as we see my opponent with a Vulpix. I'm gonna swap it into my Chinchou, gonna get hard countered again here. It's again, like, this is the thing with this cup in general. Like, sometimes there are just games you have literally no chance of winning just because you're getting completely hardwalled from the beginning to the end. It's kind of RPS, this cup. There's not a lot that you can do which is not RPS then. I mean, like, the best thing that you can use is Vulpix Say Swap, I guess, or the Slowpoke Say Swap. Both of them kinda are good against everything. makes it not as RPS, but if you don't use them, you're kinda screwed, to be honest, as we see the weather ball coming through, KOing us, and our Binacle will not have a good chance against this Seal, as we have one turn move against one turn move, which doesn't really work out too well, as we see another Courtney now in the lead. We're gonna be fine, we're just spinning around. It's like such a funny matchup. Look at them spin just, oh, it's so funny. As you can go for one grass, now if they want to let this go, they're gonna get KO'd by this, but they don't, and I also don't really, but they go for the seed bomb, which is really nice, as we can get one more charm through and we can just farm down with my Binacle. Binacle does more damage, of course, than the Chinchou, as the Chinchou would be resisted, as we see the Seal coming in, and I'm pretty sure, based on them not swapping out here, they have a little duck in the back, as we're gonna see most likely a Ducklet save swap soon. We go for the Thunderbolt here against the Seal. Let's see what they're gonna go to afterwards. They're gonna swap right into their duck, and this duck gonna go down, while one more Thunderbolt. This Thunderbolt easily KOs in, even if we are debuff from an Icy Wind or whatever. It doesn't matter, as we can go ahead, let this move go. I'm actually gonna share this move, I guess. Yeah, it's more safe, but I still want to showcase the Binacle, so I'm just swapping into this thing. I could have just went for the Thunderbolt and won the game immediately, but this is not fun, and this matchup in general is easy, still winnable for the Binacle. We can go for one Ancient Power, trying to get the boost here, and we can win this matchup just barely by some scratches, and we see a Clauncher here. Clauncher is pretty decent for my lead. It's not the craziest, but it's pretty decent. We see a Seal coming in, and a Seal with Ice Shard, which is amazing for Chinchou, as you don't have to fear anything here. They go ahead, go for the Icy Wind, going for the debuff. I don't really mind it too much, and I can go for one Thunderbolt. Should be able to KO my opponent's Seal here, as they're gonna go ahead and let this move go through. We see the Courtney coming in. Now we know their entire team, and we can align our own Courtney against their Courtney, which means we can also ally our our Binacle against the Clauncher, and this gonna be a very nice matchup later on, as you're gonna see, as I'm just gonna put everything onto my Binacle, trust into the Binacle here, as we're gonna go and farm this thing all the way down. We should just swap out, we go for the move for whatever reason, it was not really necessary, but hey, it doesn't really matter, as we're gonna go ahead, go into our Binacle and look at the scratch damage, as this thing just goes completely wild with their scratches, farming this thing all the way down. They can go for all the crap hammers they want to go for. I don't really care, the scratches are coming through and KOing this thing really easily. As we see another Courtney in the lead here. Courtney gonna be pretty easy for us still. We can just spin around and spin around and spin around and spin around, and we see the Slowpoke coming in. Very interesting swap in there. I should have thrown my move way differently than what I've did here right now, but hey, it's fine. We can go into our Chinchou, and you should be able to farm down in time before they can get to another Side Shock after this one. Which means we have a lot of energy for the incoming Courtney to threaten this thing with some Thunderbolts here. As we see here, the Courtney coming in, we can go for one Thunderbolt and just put him into the red health already, as we can go ahead and go for the shield here actually. Kind of wanted to keep this Chinchou alive and try to go for more bubble beams. We have to see. I kind of expect them to have a Ducklet in the back, and we will see the Seal in the back. Okay, we can go ahead and go for the debuffing move here. It's gonna be a little bit wild to win this though. I don't think we're gonna be able to win this actually, because they can go for neutral moves here, and I don't really get to a lot of charge moves with this Binacle, so it's gonna be a little bit of a tough one. We have to see. We can still do something here, but it's gonna be definitely very tough. They go ahead, go for more Awkward Tails. We still should survive one, but we don't get to two cross chops here. First cross chop comes through. We're gonna see the cross chop doing some nice like getting the shield there, of course, as we see the Awkward Tail coming through, as this gonna put us into the red health. They can farm us down, and yeah, this game is over. Good game to my opponent, nothing I can do here anymore, as they go ahead, go for an Awkward Tail and win the game. No, they actually go for the Ice Wind for whatever reason, but hey, yeah, kind of sad. I don't know, like it's kind of tough to win this game there, as they had the shield advantage. As we see the Bulbasaur on the lead, which is horrible for this entire team. It wins against everything other than the Courtney in the 2-shield scenario, as they go for a Sludge Bomb immediately, and I can just farm all the way down. So we can go for one Seed Bomb here, maybe get a shield from them as well, which would be very nice. We're gonna get the shield there, and we can just farm all the way down as they go ahead and go for another Sludge Bomb here, which we can just shield, and we are fine. We can farm it down. We are actually able to win the lead here. We see a Ducklet coming in. Ducklet still cannot do anything against the Binacle. We see the Chinchou coming in. We can now align our other Pokemon against it, what's called the Cottony that we had already in the lead there, which is fine. We can go ahead, go for one Ancient Power, putting this into the right half. They have to go for one Thunderbolt here as they're gonna KO our Binacle, but it does not matter. We can go ahead, go into a Cottony, and we should be in a pretty decent spot here as we can farm this thing down. They go ahead, go for one Bubble Beam, I guess. Yep. And we can just go for one Seed Bomb. We should have went for the Grass Knot actually, but it doesn't matter. We have our perfect answer in the back here in the Chinchou, and I think at this point they are not even surrendering. Interesting. Like, they can go for one Brave Bird here. They go for a Bubble Beam for whatever reason. I don't know. And I go for a Bubble Beam for whatever reason. I don't know either. What am I doing here? It doesn't really make too much sense. We just gonna, yeah, we just want to have like more view time here for the people to watch, of course. Yeah, I don't know what even happened here, but we're gonna win this game. That's all that really matters. We see someone here in 2,999 rating. That's kind of funny, but they're already legend anyway. As we see the Slowpoke coming in here, as we can just farm this thing down in the 1-0 shield scenario. We just shield once, we farm this thing down. We see the Sideshock coming through, and we see that we have some nice energy stored. Usually you can do something with the energy later on. As we see a Cottony coming in, we just hope that they're gonna let this move go through, because Cottony is horrible for me to deal with, and they don't. And now this game is pretty much over, I think. I don't know how we're gonna be able to come back from this, to be honest. We have to shield here, we have to try to farm this thing down, we have to see what they have in the back. They have, Show Turtwig. That is also a horrible answer for me. It's actually the one team that I also showcased in the top team videos, which I'm also most likely gonna make another video about this team. Very nice team there. As we see a Ducklet in the lead there, we can just swap onto their charge move here. Maybe it's a Brave Bird. It is actually a Brave Bird. Still does more than half health, but it is fine as they go into their own Cottony, and we put them into a range where we can go into our Cottony and go for a charge move here. But they actually go for the Seed Bomb immediately. I think that's a Seed Bomb. Yep, it is, which is good for us. We can go ahead, go for the Grass Knot. I think I should have waited longer before I swapped into my Cottony, though. That was kind of not the smartest idea. But it actually doesn't matter, because we go down at the same time. We have our Chinchou, they have their Vulpix, and this is kind of awkward. So, yeah, it's gonna be tough to win this game. We have to just shield the first Body Slam, but they still have that Ducklet, which they can swap into, and yeah, it's kind of tough. We're gonna see that they are going to go and not throw any move here. I'm just still gonna go for my Bubble Beam. Gonna try to debuff them, maybe get the final shield from them. We get the final shield, and now I'm not going to throw any move. They tried to catch, didn't work out for them. I have to farm all the way down. I have to hope that this is a Bubble Beam, otherwise I'm gonna lose this match anyway. It is a Bubble Beam, and I can farm all the way down, have now so much energy. I can go for one Thunderbolt, but does this KO? We are already debuffed, and we don't know if this is actually gonna KO now. Let's see. We go for the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt comes through, and this gonna go boom. Win us the game against the Vulpix here. Good game there. And to the final match, we have a nice lead here with the Wooper against us. We can easily tank the Wooper, but we see a Cottony coming in. Now it's gonna be a little bit tricky. Wooper is very good against the backline, basically hard-rolling both of them. And I don't really have an answer for Cottony other than our own Cottony. So we have to KO him here, which works out pretty well. And we see now a Ducklet coming in, I'm pretty sure, if I remember this match correctly. Yes, and we swap immediately to a Chinchou. Because our Chinchou gonna be able to hard-roll this thing, we're going to go ahead and no-shield this. It's a Bubble Beam, yep. And we can get some extra energy here. And we're gonna try to KO this Ducklet immediately, as now we can just try to debuff the incoming Wooper as much as we can with our Bubble Beam, because this debuff is here to stay. There's nothing that they can do about this. This debuff is still gonna be there forever, as we can even get to another move because they didn't really time their moves right. We go for another Bubble Beam, get this 2-stage debuff now onto this little Wooper boy, which also now has a regional form into the new games, which is gonna be interesting when this comes to Pokemon Go. But we see the Wooper going for Mud Bomb here, super effective, still does less than half. And this is a Binacle game, so the final game, we of course have to win with our Binacle, stretching down everything here, winning us this game here. So that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for watching. Binacle is a very fun Pokemon to use here right now in this meta. I had a nice 5-0 with this. And that's gonna be it. Thanks for watching. See you next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye!